Oracle. You've definitely heard the name, right? It's this massive, multi-billion-dollar tech company that seems to be popping up everywhere, from Formula One racing to, believe it or not, TikTok. And yet, for most of us, what they actually do is a total black box. So let's try and answer that question. What does Oracle really do?
Well, if you ask Oracle themselves, you might get an answer that sounds something like this. Enterprise Database Cloud Company. I mean, sure, those 4 words are technically accurate, but they're also so unbelievably boring they could put you right to sleep. It doesn't really clear anything up, does it? But then you hear other people describe them like this, and suddenly it gets a whole lot more interesting. A shape-shifting tech leviathan with an insane billionaire founder. Okay, now we're talking. One sounds like corporate jargon you'd see on a brochure. The other sounds like the plot of a summer blockbuster. So which is it? Are they just another boring business-to-business software company? Or are they a high-stakes tech giant straight out of a movie? Well, in this explainer, we're going to peel back the layers and figure it out.
To really get Oracle, you have to start right here. At its absolute core, for pretty much the last 4 decades, Oracle has been, first and foremost, a database company. That is the foundation that everything else they do is built on. So, what even is a database? Let's keep it super simple. I want you to picture one of those old-school giant paper ledgers, the kind a hotel or a big business used to have, to record every single customer, every single transaction. A database is just a massive, incredibly efficient, and super secure digital version of that. And this is exactly why they became so critical. Think about it. Those old paper ledgers were an absolute nightmare. They had huge security problems, they were almost impossible to back up, they took up tons of physical space, and trying to find one specific piece of information, that could take you hours. Database software just came in and solved all of that at once. You get robust security, easy backups, and lightning-fast data retrieval. It was a game changer. And this right here leads to the most important concept for understanding Oracle's entire business model. It's called stickiness. See, once a company moves all of its most critical data, we're talking financials, customer info, supply chains, the whole shebang, into an Oracle database, it is incredibly difficult and expensive to get it back out. That stickiness, that's what gives Oracle its immense power. And that power is what turned Oracle into a mission-critical powerhouse. Just think about the kinds of systems that a company absolutely, positively cannot afford to have fail. Things like banking transactions, airline reservations, global logistics. That's the arena where Oracle became the default go-to choice for the biggest companies in the world. And it all comes down to just rock-solid reliability. Oracle built these systems with automatic fail-safes, so if one server goes down, another one just instantly takes over with literally zero downtime. They created disaster recovery that could make perfect backup copies of entire databases miles away. You add in military-grade security and a decades-long track record, and you can start to see why these huge corporations were willing to bet their entire business on Oracle. But here's the thing. Oracle didn't just stop at databases. The real story here is how they used that sticky foundation to build this constantly evolving tech empire. It's a journey that started, of all places, as a secret government project and has grown into the cloud giant we see today. I mean, check this out. It all started back in the 70s as a CIA project that was literally codenamed Oracle. Wild, right? After going public in the 80s, they used their database dominance to start selling enterprise software for things like HR and accounting to the customers they already had. Then in the 2000s, they saw the writing on the wall and pivoted hard into the cloud to compete with Amazon and Google. And today, they're making these crazy moves in AI and even social media. A perfect example of their modern power is what they're doing in Formula One. Oracle's high-performance cloud is so fast and so powerful that the Oracle Red Bull racing team uses it to run a mind-boggling number of race simulations. And they're not just using it because of a sponsorship sticker on the car. They're using it because, as they say themselves, it's simply the best tool for the job. And if you want another wild pivot, look no further than this. In a deal that's known as Project Texas, Oracle, the old-school corporate database company, is now the company responsible for storing and securing all the data for TikTok's US users. I mean, it's a totally surprising move that just shows how far they've been willing to evolve. And that brings us to their latest, and maybe their riskiest evolution yet, a massive all-in gamble on artificial intelligence. This is the move that has Wall Street absolutely buzzing, but it also comes with some really serious questions. Just get a load of this number. Oracle's stock shot up 36% in a single day, all based on excitement around its AI strategy. That is the kind of explosive growth you'd expect from a hot new startup, not a 40-year-old tech giant. The hype is absolutely off the charts. And let's be clear, this isn't just some side project for them. Oracle is basically betting the farm on this. They're building enormous data centers designed specifically for AI, and they're signing these huge contracts to provide the raw computing power for companies like OpenAI, the creators of ChatGPT. But you know how it goes. With great hype comes great risk. The buzz around AI is so intense right now that a lot of people are starting to ask if we're in some kind of bubble. And if that bubble bursts, how badly would it hurt a company like Oracle that is tying its future so closely to it? And there are some very real challenges ahead. First up, there's a potential revenue gap. OpenAI, one of their biggest partners, isn't projected to make nearly enough money to pay for the billions of dollars in computing it's promised to buy. Second, building these massive, power-hungry AI data centers is starting to run into physical limits. There's just not enough land and cheap power to go around. And finally, even if they build it all, the huge question remains, how do they actually make it profitable in the long run? So when you step back and look at the whole picture, the true story of Oracle isn't really about databases, or the cloud, or even AI. It's about this relentless, 4-decade-long drive to evolve and adapt, using its core strengths to pivot into whatever the next big thing is, and to survive at all costs. Which leaves us with the ultimate question. Is this latest AI gamble just another brilliant evolution that's going to make them the bedrock of our technological future? Or have they tied themselves to a hype-fueled bubble that's just destined to pop? Only time will tell.